Welcome to another episode of Candlestick Pattern. So today we're going to be talking on candlestick and how they work in the market. I'll be explaining diverse candlestick and their uses in the market. So let's dive in on what is candlestick. As we all know, candlestick pattern are visual representation of price action over a specific time frame used in financial trading to predict future price movement. So anything you're doing in the market means you're dealing with the candlestick. With that candlestick, you won't know the future price movement in the market. And as we all know, we have different type of candlestick in the market. So I will be talking of diverse candlestick here, where we have the indecision candlestick, and indecision candlestick have different type of candlestick under it, which we have the doji, the gravestone doji, the dragonfly doji, and then we have the reversal candles, which we have the hammer, the inverted hammer, hanging man, and shooting star. Okay, and we'll be talking on engulfing pattern as well, which we'll be talking on the a bullish engulfing and a bearish engulfing. So let's start by explaining what is indecision candles. So long we know that we have diverse candlestick under it. What is indecision? We all know that indecision candlestick are candles letting you know that currently at that spot, at that current movement of the market, there's no decision between buyers and sellers. So you will begin to see indecision candlestick letting you know that at this moment, both buyers and sellers, they have not decided yet who is in control or who will take control of the market. So we'll be talking on Doji candlestick. Let me first explain what Doji candlestick is all about. Then I will move into the chart. I will show you the Doji candlestick and how it looks like and how it works. A doji, okay, let me explain this way. Think of a doji as the market taking a breath and asking what now. So what now means what are we up to? Because there's no specific conclusion in who is taking control. It's just a random question like, okay, what's next? Who is taking control? Am I not taking? So buyers and sellers are negotiating on whom to take control. And thirdly, trade have no control as there's no decision yet. So indecision candlestick are candlestick that let you know there's no decision yet in the market. Now let's look at how this candle looks like. So I actually mark some of these things out so I won't stress, and then you won't stress and you won't be like, what candle is he talking about? So you can see this candlestick, the black on the red box. This is how exactly a doji candlestick look like, with a tiny body plus wick on body size. Open and close are basically the same price. Can look like a plus T or upside down T depending on the week. What it is telling you is that buyer and seller fought all candle, but neither won, no one in control. It is pure indecision or equilibrium. Okay, so indecision candle is a candle, it has a small body and it has wick but up and down, so that is how it literally look like. It look like a plus sign or a T sign sometimes. So, but basically, it look like a plus sign. That's how it look like. So when you see this kind of candlestick in the on your chart or in the market or where market is currently moving, and this kind of candlestick form, this candle is letting you know that there's no decision between buyers and sellers. So that is how the doji candlestick forms in the market. So now let's talk on the second candlestick, which is the gravestone doji. So don't forget this gravestone doji as well is an indecision candlestick. It's an indecision candlestick, and I'll be explaining to you how this gravestone doji candlestick works. So let's spot it on the chart. Let's spot it on the chart and see how it looks like. Gravestone. We have it here. We have it here. You can see the candle in the red box is known as gravestone doji. Now the question is, why is it called gravestone doji? The evil twin of the dragonfly Same idea, opposite meaning. What it looks like: small body at the bottom plus long upper wick plus no or very tiny lower wick. Looks like an upside down T. So as you can see, the gravestone, it is a candle that have a small body at the bottom with a long wick at the top. Sometimes it might have a tiny or no wick at all at the lower part of the body. So this is how exactly a gravestone doji looks like. And what it is telling you, whenever you see a gravestone candlestick, it is telling you that buyer push price away up during the candle, but seller slammed it back down to close near the open. Total rejection of high prices. How to trade it? How can I trade it? Okay, location matters. Where it appears, which is the location, it matters. Only valid at the top of an uptrend or at resistance. In a downtrend, it means nothing. Confirmation needed. Don't short the doji itself. Wait for next candle to close bearish and break below the doji's low. So what it's trying to let you know is that if you want to trade this gravestone doji, all you need to do, you must spot it at the resistance level, and then you don't trade it alone. You have to wait for a confirmation of an engulfing candlestick engulfing the doji, which is letting you know that okay, now the seller are totally in charge of the market. So now I think okay, let's talk on another candlestick, which is the gravestone, or no, the dragonfly. Now let's talk on the dragonfly. But before we talk on the dragonfly, let's spot it out. Then when we spot it out, then I will explain how dragonfly work and what it represents in the market. Dragonfly. So follow me. I have it marked here because I don't want it to stress us, like looking for it and wasting much of our time. Okay, this is how a dragonfly doji looks like. A dragonfly doji, that's one of the most powerful reversal candles you will see on a chart. It's one of the powerful reversal candle you will see on a chart. What it looks like? How does it look like? It looks this way: small body at the top, plus long lower wick, plus no or very tiny upper wick. Looks like a T. Okay, this dragonfly is actually a candlestick that looks like a T. Sometimes looks like T sign, and it have a longer wick below, and they have sometimes might just be a small or sometimes no wick at all at the top. So dragonfly is one of the powerful reversal candlestick on a chart. When you see this occurring, it is telling you that of course market will be reversing. So how do you trade it, or what it is telling you first? What is it telling you? Seller push price way down during the candle, but buyers stepped in and brought it all the way back up to close near the open. Total rejection of lower price. And how to trade it? How do you trade it? Location matters. Only valid at the bottom of a downtrend. So it's basically valid at the downtrend. Okay, don't trade it in anywhere that is not at the bottom level. At the bottom level or at a support level, which is your zone, it is more powerful when you are trading it at a particular zone, which is basically support. So now let's talk on another candle, which will be our what? Our I think we'll not be talking on the reversal candlestick like the hammer, inverted hammer, and hanging hammer. So let's talk on them. What are they all like, and what do they look like, and what are their usefulness? So let's talk on hammer candle. But before we talk on that, let's spot it and see. Let's see if we can be able to spot it easily and faster. I mark this out so a lot of people will be able to like see the candlestick, and you can now go on your chart and start looking for it as it is being explained to you here. So hammer, the bottom is in candle. So a hammer candle, the bottom is in candle. If dragonfly doji is indecision, hammer is indecision plus buyers stepped in. So hammer is actually like a dragonfly. It looks almost little similar with a dragonfly, just that hammer sometimes have a little bigger body than the hammer, but all are the same. They look similar, they look so alike. So hammer as well is an indecision, but it is not telling you that there's no decision, but it looks like buyers have rejected the market. So hammer is basically used for buyers stepping in. What it looks like, small body near the top plus long lower wick. So it has a body at the top and it has a wick below, and the wick below is always longer than the body. Most time is always longer than the body. What it is telling you, seller tried to crash price, buyer said nope and bought it all back up. Rejection of lower prices plus bullish momentum building. So when you see a hammer candlestick is letting you know that buyers have a strong momentum at the moment by giving a rejection, and then you need to confirm your price action, the next candlestick forming next to it, and then you can be able to what, take a long on the buy. So that is how hammer work. And then how to trade it. Location matters. Must be at bottom of downtrend or at key support. So location matters where you are trading your what? Your hammer candlestick. So in whatever candlestick you are using, um you must use your location properly, because it helps you properly to get everything done right. So let's talk on inverted hammer. So let's spot it and see. Let's spot it. Inverted hammer. Let's see if we can spot it. Where's our inverted hammer? Okay, here is it. So how does it look like? Inverted hammer. Inverted hammer is the opposite of the hammer which I showed you. So but this particular one is facing down. As you can see, this is an inverted hammer, a hammer but facing down. The body is below and the wick is above. So when you're talking about the inverted hammer, how it looks like: small body near the bottom plus long upper wick, 2 to 3 times the body plus tiny no or no lower wick. So sometimes it might not have a little wick below, but sometimes it might have a little or no little. So, but basically, inverted hammer is the opposite of the hammer, but facing the down, and then the wick, the longer wick is what, at the top of the body. So, what it is telling you, buyers tried to pump price, but sellers stepped in and pushed it back down, but it closed near the low, so buyers still show up. It is potential bullish reversal at bottom. It appears at the bottom level. So most time the location matters. Location matters. Only valid at bottom of downtrend. Okay, so or at support level. You can see this candlestick in both location, either at the support level or at the resistance level. But all you need to do is to put into consideration whose candle appear. Is it for the bullish or for the bearish, or for, is it for buyers or for sellers? So when you notice it is for buyers, all you need to do is to put in your confirmation. And if it is for sellers, you put in your confirmation before taking the trade. Okay. So now let's talk on our next candlestick. And which one is our next candlestick on the list? So let's take a look at our next candlestick on the list. So we are going to be talking on hanging man. Hanging man. A lot of people actually don't know or don't have idea about hanging man. All the type of candlestick they basically know most is the hammer, inverted hammer, the doji candlestick, which are very very easy to know. So hanging man is actually, firstly let's spot it and see how it looks like. Hanging man. Let's see if we can spot it, and then let's see how it looks like. So this is how our hanging man looks like. It's in form of hammer as well, but hanging at the top. So it happens at the top side of the chart, and this is a reversal pattern letting you know that market might be dropping, but all you need to do is to put a consideration of confirmation, confirming if the candlestick will give you a bullish candlestick, confirming that the market will be reversing the opposite direction. It has a small body but a lower a long wick below the body. So this is how it looks like. This is how hanging man looks like. It always appear at the top, hanging within two candlesticks. So this is very simple. Actually, this is very simple. So let's move into our next candlestick, and our next candlestick on the list is engulfing patterns. So let's deal with the engulfing patterns. What are the engulfing patterns? This engulfing pattern, they are one of the most powerful candlestick you can ever work with in the trading market. So, like we said, we have a bullish engulfing and bearish engulfing. Bullish engulfing, firstly, before I explain, let's spot it and then let's explain how it looks like and what is the usefulness of the candlestick and how does it work in the market. Engulfing. So we have the bullish engulfing and we have the bearish engulfing. So a bullish engulfing, firstly, let me talk on this candle is a bearish engulfing. So let me explain it. Then I will not explain the bullish engulfing. Or first, let me explain. Okay, let's go with the bearish engulfing. A bearish engulfing. This is the sellers took over candle. Seller took over candle. Mirror of bullish engulfing. What it is telling you, buyers were in control before, but as of few minutes ago or not too long, it becomes that seller began to take over by giving you a bearish engulfing. So we are seeing a bearish engulfing started high and sold so hard they erased all of previous buying plus pushed lower. Momentum flip down. Trade, it's simple. Location must be at top of uptrend or at resistance. So this engulfing can be at the top of uptrend or at resistance level. No resistance, no trade. If this bearish engulfing did not appear at the top, which is the resistance level, that means it's not literally valid to be called or it's not valid for you to trade it. But basically, they are stronger when they appears at the what? When they appears at the resistance level. Location matter must be at the top of uptrend at resistance or at resistance level. No resistance, no trade. Entry short when price breaks below the low of the previous candle with engulfing candlestick. So this engulfing candlestick is a candle bigger than any other candlestick in the market, which is known as engulfing the order. And then this means either buyer or seller's momentum. But in this bearish explanation, this bearish candle, it means seller's momentum. It has a bigger body with a little or no wick at the up or at the downside. So the opposite of this bearish candlestick, of this bearish engulfing, is the what? Bullish engulfing. And now let's look for a bullish engulfing and see how it looks like. Okay, so let's use this as an example. You can see this particular one here is a what? Is a bullish engulfing. So it is engulfing the bearish candle with what? A bullish candle bigger than the what? Bullish bearish candle that appears before. So a bullish candle, this is how it looks like, and this means buyer momentum. It has a what? A bigger body with a wick at the top or at the lower level. Sometimes it might not have wick either at the both sides. Sometimes it might have just tiny wick on the body. So this is how the what? Bullish engulfing looks like. So if you have any question about this candlestick or any other candlestick you don't understand, or there are candlestick you are struggling with, just send in the question on the comment section. I will be explaining about the candle to you in my next video. So if you find this video useful, please like, comment, share to your loved one, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you. See you in my next video.